Welcome to Cyclops is Waiting for Me, an X-Men animated recap podcast with X-Men 97, Season 2, Episode 1, titled Days of Past Future. I'm JC, and kind of like in as much disbelief as when we got Episode 1 of Season 1, I can't believe that we're here again.
Yo.
Hell yeah.
A strong start. I've been busy this last week, but it was a nice little break to watch this debut. I kind of wish that they didn't put 3 episodes at the beginning at midnight, but at
least they were 30-minute episodes. At least it wasn't like a 45, and then like an hour-long one. Because that was what I was worried about, was just like starting the night and looking and seeing like how many minutes left, and it was going to be like 42 minutes plus credits.
So it's funny for me, they were about 45 minutes apiece because I have the ad tier of Disney Plus. And they really want you to know that Dave's Hot Chicken has an X-Men meal. And also there's some new service that I can't remember that sounds like it's kind of like a knockoff eBay. Yeah, you got a couple storms there.
3 storms from 3
I wonder if
meals.
your location... I wonder if they messed up the deliveries and locations just got like one box of...
2 separate locations.
Oh, really?
One NoHo, one Northridge.
That's so funny.
I picked one up in person yesterday, and then I realized I didn't have any food in the house for lunch, so I'm like, I'll order 2, so I have lunch today and lunch tomorrow, because we were recording and wanted to make sure to not mess up this schedule. All storms. Luckily, our friend Emily has a Wolverine that she's willing to trade because she really wanted a storm. And then you're getting the other one, so I'm all good.
Yeah. Okay, cool, thanks. That means I don't have to fight this terrible shopping center that I just complained to JC about off camera.
Center? No, you don't.
That has these restaurants where every single one of them so far is O for O for me so far. So, anyway, and I'm Rod, avid Storm fan, we'll talk about it during this episode. But man, they I give it to the team. Some of them we know. And so I'm going to take it personally that they did it for me. Every first episode so far, season 1 and 2, they give Storm like this badass moment. Yeah, like just keep leveling her up. They're making up for the sins of Halle Berry and the writing team in the 2000s. Cyclops is Waiting for Me is our podcast where we're going back and watching every single animated X-Men animated episode we can find. The podcast started with the original 1992 X-Men animated series, building up to the release of X-Men 97 Season 1. Since then, we completed X-Men Evolution, Wolverine and the X-Men, and the X-Men anime. But we're back weekly for all our X-Men 97 Season 2.
You got through it.
Yeah.
Some quick reminders. We are a recap show about an episode that isn't even a week old yet. There are gonna be spoilers, and if you don't want it spoiled for you, pause the podcast, watch the episode, come back. Don't say we didn't warn you. We are currently not sponsored or by or affiliated with Marvel Animation, Disney, or Disney Plus in any way.
And don't forget to follow us on social media at Cyclops IWFM Pod on Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. Especially because you've been doing card openings, right, of the different series and stuff.
Yeah, interestingly enough, the card opening that this week is a pause because of the X-Men 97 premiere. There's just so much stuff we're going to be posting on it. But the series came out in 1997 called X-Men 97 Timelines, and it is a story or the characters from it are very focused on like Nimrod, Apocalypse, Sinister, like all the stuff that we know is going to be prevalent in this season. So it's very, very appropriate for it. And then just anytime I get a random blind box that's X-Men related, I post those too.
That's awesome.
So today we're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 1, titled Days of Past Future. It aired on July 1st of 2026, alongside Episode 2 and 3, which are coming to our feed tomorrow and the following day as a part of a 3-episode premiere. This currently sits at an 8.5 star rating on IMDb. So
so far, and the nice thing is we have like roughly 30. Do we have 30%? Yeah, 30% of the season right 33. Now, right? 33%. So we already know at least a little over 30% it does not suffer from the sophomore slump.
Yes, absolutely.
I had a really good time watching it, even as being as tired as I was. I made a comment on it was one of my social media stories that like this team, like, you know, from the voice cast to like Jake and all the people behind the scenes we don't know about and the Newton brothers and stuff, they really know how to like craft a show that like feels like the excitement of Saturday morning cartoons from when we were a kid, without like trying, I don't know, not without like trying to like retread that so much, you know, because it's clearly like there's nostalgic things like the characters, storylines, costumes, and even like I was worried about this. I can't remember if we talked about this on camera or off, but like I was worried about the VHS like kind of look going away, but it was very much there. I heard like, and I guess we could talk about this now because the show's been out for a while, but when I was talking to Jake during the first season, he said like that's not just a filter, that's like a technology that I don't know if Disney developed it or someone on his team or someone. It's like a whole thing that's like so much more involved. And it like they it looks great. It kind of gives it that like magnet, like the glow of magnetic tape, you know, like when you run a VHS or something.
Right.
And anyway, yeah, it was just a true joy to like watch the whole show. And even I was even say, even though I have the ad tier version, it was kind of nice to like have the little ad breaks, because like just as someone who watched that way, it looks like they actually structured a show to have little ad breaks.
Right, like it felt intentional where the breaks happened and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think for me, like my big takeaway of it, and you know, this held true on the first season, and the team that has carried it through into the second season, it like threads that needle of nostalgia and new so well. Because a lot of the stories that we're experiencing this are derivative of something that has existed before. Like, you know, Red and Slim in the future there's an entire series dedicated to that, a miniseries. You know, the rise of Apocalypse, even the Horsemen that we see in this episode are from stories that exist. But it didn't feel like, you know, it's not like watching a beat for beat recreation, like something like 300, for example, which is literally just like, here's the story you had, here's the story we're retelling you, you know, minor changes. This actually felt like a new take on these existing stories, and I really love that about it.
And it looks like they're still doing the speed run of entire arcs in one episode.
Well, except for episode 3, because that is at least a 2-part.
Yeah, the continue. Well, it cracks me up as to be continued. Like, these are all to be continued, but like, and we'll get into this when we talk about more, but it always feels like we can't leave her behind. Oh, she's back. You know, like, which is not a bad thing. Like, however they did it, it didn't feel like that, even though I know intellectually it was like that. It just feels like in like a modern serialized thing, it would be like 4 episodes later that would get resolved or whatever. They're just like kind of speed running through all this stuff. Like, listen, you want to see the action, you want to see the fighting, you want to see cool shit. Like, here it is, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we're also dealing with, like, because of the time frame stuff, it's like, oh, this is happening in 1997. They really love to emphasize, I think they say twice in this episode, back to the 90s or in the 1990s. Yep. But there are certain stories that did not exist until a decade or so later. Like, we know there's going to be the episode this season, Danger EXE. That is a story that took place in the 2000s, for example. So, which
is a fun title to try to make folders for when you're doing a podcast, because computer does not like naming folders. .exe.
Okay, so you just named that one Danger, and I know the rest. So,
but it wasn't even that. It was just like putting .exe, like especially my Mac is like, are you sure you want to make this that extension? I'm like, that's like, God. So you'll see in the folders, there's like spaces between everything. It's like danger space space exe. Like,
are you sure you don't want to move these closer together? Yeah. So, before we get into the actual episode itself, I do have to say the funniest thing. It's probably by the time this is live already gone. Matthew Watterson, who is the voice of Magneto, was celebrating an announcement that AJ Locascio, who is the voice of Gambit, had by trolling him to unfathomable levels, because it was I believe it was a Star Wars related post, and he basically said, since AJ doesn't have anything to celebrate for X-Men because he's still a rotting corpse in the ground.
I don't know anybody.
I literally replied back. I'm like, dude, and that was all I said to him.
I don't know. Anybody that saw the title for episode 8 knows better. So,
but still, man, he's like, oh yeah, why'd you even show up to the premiere on the Disney lot for the friends and families?
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yep. Also, fun tidbit: Matthew's wife, Rachel, is the voice of Computer.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So
that's very cool.
All right. So hopping into the actual episode itself, we have a previously on the voice coming from Jean, which starts with the Maddie birth with Nathan, the Nightcrawler voiceover about like memories of like, does it really count if you remember what it felt like, even if it wasn't you, quote unquote. The mention of the eyes, naming him Nathan. And then, of course, that emotional goodbye from Cable. By the way, did you rewatch it like within the past like week or so to like get ready for this week?
No,
the original season. Yeah.
No.
I know you were busy with VidCon and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. I did watch. I watched the show a couple times since it came out, but then Gina Ippolito on New Rockstars did a really great like homework catch up.
Yep.
Thing if you want to watch. Actually, she inspired me with my notes for this because she did a recap of all 3 episodes in like less than 45 minutes. So I'm like, okay, I can be so much more succinct with my notes here.
Yeah, I'm not going to follow that trend. And then the previously on ends with Scott and Jean in the future where they meet the Askani and such. So goes into the intro. I don't know if you saw it, but the Marvel Studios animation has changed a little bit. It has stuff from X-Men. It has Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Eyes of Wakanda, Marvel Zombies, and then ends with Gambit and Wolverine doing Belly Up. So it is still the original team shot from inside the Blackbird. And then they do get specific to the actual characters in the episode, which, you know, we've talked about in the past. They changed Storm's animation from last season because they had her Mohawk version, they had the black outfit version, and now it is the full hair in the white version on it. And then did you notice Wolverine had his bone claws in his segment?
I didn't notice until the rewatch. I think I was just like so used to like the original stuff, but yeah, that was cool. Yeah,
I appreciated that like little level of it. You had Apocalypse and Cable in the future, Bishop leaving with the baby, which I don't think we're ever going to see what exactly happened in there other than it just like he dropped him during the time stream. You get the Summers landing shot from Tolerance's Extinction. And then they did the really cool stylized version of Wolverine losing his adamantium from the battle with Magneto in there.
Mm-hmm. It was like memory.
Yeah, it was like not backlit, but it was like just outlines of the characters and such. And then you get the shot that you'll see later in the episode of the X-Men falling through time. So episode itself actually kicks off with Trish Tilby reporting about what's been happening since the events of E-Day. And did you notice she had the scars on her face from the Sentinel technology?
Yeah, which is kind of wild that it I guess that's supposed to show us that all those people got amnesty for choosing to have that done to them.
I mean, or was Bastion lying? Did they all actually choose to have that done to them too? You know, because I feel like she's such a strategic person and kind of showed like actual emotion towards Beast that I don't think she intended to have it happen to her.
We'll see. I don't know. I remain cautious.
Totally valid. Bishop and Forge are in the cabin. You see, the conspiracy board showing the 2 different teams, with the future team being in 3960 AD in the Atlantic Basin. And basically, Bishop was able to identify this because of ripples in the time stream. mentions very specifically that these are two of the darkest ages for humanity, because essentially in the future, Apocalypse has won at this point. So, and that means a lot for Bishop to say it's the darkest time, considering what his present was too. So.
And he's probably one of the few characters, right, that's seen like all the different like multiverse outcomes.
Yeah, him and Cable have seen how bad this all gets. So he volunteers to go back into the past, which is where Apocalypse's first reign is, and he mentions that Forge probably has his heart set on the future, and that is where we get the quote from him that we need to get the X-Men back to the 90s, which was used in all of the marketing materials since that last trailer came out. So
I love the way that Isaac delivered that too, because it like I know on the page it was like probably like much like more John Wayne sounding. He's like, so back to the 90s, you know, but like the way he said it was like directly at camera to like all the like elder millennials, like back to the 90s.
It's like if he could have winked, he would have. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a Zach Morris kind of thing.
Yes.
I love that sequence too, though, because and maybe this is because I'm older now. I like watched that, and I was like, technically, it would have made more sense for Bishop to go to the future and Forge to go to the past, because like Forge is closer to the past, and Bishop has more experience with the future, you know. But yeah, part of me thinks is like, as a tactician, Bishop is like, I'm gonna have to. It's either like we go now, or I'm gonna argue with this man about going to where his like girlfriend is. So we're just gonna go.
Yeah. if Bishop suggested going to the future himself, Forge would find like 15 different reasons why he should be the one to go instead.
Yeah. So he's like, just cut the crap and just go do it. Let's get done.
Yeah. So they go through the time machine, which Forge just offhandedly is like, yep, I invented this. Like,
yeah, I love his power sets, because like the way they displayed in X-Men 97, I didn't quite understand in 92. You know, like that if he can think about it, then he can invent it. And yes. He was like, I haven't even tested this. It works.
Yeah, he knows. So Forge is in the middle of like a giant green fart cloud, essentially. And he's looking around. They see some skeletons. And then I referred to the robots as Warhammer 40,000 Terminators, which I know means nothing to you, but they reminded me of like that very stereotypical design from Warhammer, but not a one-to-one copy of it. But it was very specifically Warhammer Terminator vibes for me.
I thought these were like Advanced Sentinels, but I saw later that they were Cyberhounds. And also, once again, kudos to the Newton brothers, Lily, that whole team. The score of this part is so like, I know this, you know, this is a 90s themed show, but they caught that perfect like late 80s like synth, like Mad Max vibe here.
Yeah, I
just kind of found myself like listening to it over and over again, because I don't think they've released a soundtrack yet for spoilers.
I have not seen it yet, and I imagine yes, it's the spoiler category. Yeah,
because I can't wait for like these like dystopian future music cues to come out, because like I love the vibe. They're very synthy and cool.
Yeah. So not big old fight, but gunfight is what my note was on this one, because I know you love your big old fight in your episode recaps. And when it looks like Forge is about to get taken out, there is a Wind and Logan save, and I felt uncomfortable watching Logan's claws continually break. Like,
yeah,
like if anybody has ever broken a bone before, like I've broken part of a finger, and I'm like, I remember what that feels like 3 decades later. I can't imagine like just full strips of my bone breaking off, and then he's like, and I'm just gonna grow new ones.
Yeah, I guess I knew that he had bone claws, which was cool to see, because I hadn't forgotten about the Magneto thing, but it's just, I don't know, it's been a while, you know, it's been a couple of years, and so it was kind of cool to see. But I guess I never realized that like the claws would regenerate. I guess it makes sense on hindsight, but that's pretty wild. That's like Spike, you know, in the evolution thing.
Yeah. Well, it also implies that, because I believe in one of the early origins for Wolverine, the claws were only there because of the adamantium placement. But this goes with what I eventually retconned into him, is that he had the claws that were bone claws, and then they put the adamantium on top of those specifically. So it follows what the retcon would eventually do for him too. So.
Yeah, and you can see it wins him, like, he's, like, exhausted afterwards. Forge has to kind of help him up, and...
I mean, that level of recovery, because we're not going to see gore Wolverine of, like, you know, getting, like, his side blown out like you saw in, like, the Wolverine Origins video game and stuff like that. But it's like, yeah, how much, for lack of a fucking term, how much protein or enzymes or whatever the fuck it is does it take to regenerate bones? Like, I don't know what builds that, but it's definitely, like, kind of like how the Flash needs to eat, like, you know, tens of thousands of calories a day kind of scenario. So, and
I'm just so used to hearing, like, the metallic sound when his claws are out, that you just hear squishing.
Yeah.
Now.
Yep. You get the Storm reveal. You get the kiss between them, and then he's like, "Yep, we got round trip home." And then there's, like, the awkward moment between Storm and Wolverine where they're like, yeah, some shit's gone down since.
Yeah, I like the Forge he's had a relationship with her, so he's like, I don't like that face. Also, I don't know if I knew that his name was Daniel.
I don't think it had been said often. I do think it got said in one of the Adversary episodes last season, though. Because when I was doing my rewatch last weekend, that stood out to me too. Of like, oh yeah, they call him Daniel in the show. So
gotcha. Yeah, maybe I just haven't heard hers. I don't know. Like,
I think she was the one who said it in that Adversary one. So,
and but it was kind of funny because it was like first thing dystopian future. She's like, oh my god.
Yep. You get the reveal of Scott, Jean, Nathan, and the whole Askani tribe, and then they're on, like, this little caravan, and Scott is putting so much of the blame on himself of, like, you know, he sent Nathan into the future without saying goodbye. He needs to stick around and, like, give him some sort of, like, memories and guidance that he didn't give him in his first years, you know, when he was literally a child thrown through the time stream.
Yeah.
And then Forge proceeds to speculate of, like, we don't know who sent you guys through the time stream, which we do get revealed in this episode, obviously. You know, were you sent in the future to somehow stop Cable? And then they give the great counter of, well, what if this is what needed to happen? And I think it's called a bootstrap paradox of, like, it has to happen this way in every instance of it. Because if, like, they don't go, do the events of this episode not end up happening, he never meets Ship, he never becomes the time traveler, XYZ, you know? And if I'm messing up that it is a bootstrap paradox, please tell me in the comments, because the problem is the only time I ever watch YouTube videos that talk about, like, time travel paradoxes and stuff like that, it's usually at, like, 1 a.m. when I can't sleep. So, like, my brain is not registering every word that is being said during those.
I used to like those videos, but in the last, like, 3 years, those types of videos have been taken over by, like, AI voiceover, and I don't really catch, you know, if they do a good job of the thumbnail, I don't know until I'm, like, a minute into it. I'm like, oh, god damn it. Like, I don't... Yep. I want to see, like, Neil deGrasse Tyson explain this, you know, so I can get those terms and stuff.
It always helps when you see the person's face on it, totally. Or really bad artwork that's obviously not AI gen artwork.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they're basically... Forge kind of, like, threatens them with it of, like, you get 1 day... because we can't risk breaking the timeline further. So,
which makes sense, because I think that's the whole thing about them being in. Wait, they're in the past or the future? They're in the future.
They're in the future.
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand that one then.
Well, time hasn't affected ripples. That's why Bishop was able to identify where they were, and because they're going to Nathan when Nathan is a kid. If they affect how Nathan grows up. Nathan doesn't travel back to 1993 was his first appearance, I want to say. 92 or 93. I always forget what his Mirror Island appearance was. But if that doesn't happen, everything else breaks, essentially. So
this is proof of why time travel will never be invented. Because if it had, someone would have messed this up. There's too many rules that someone hasn't messed it up yet.
or time travel only works if you go forward and they outlaw it going to the past.
I mean, technically, it's working forward now, right?
I hate you sometimes. Add it to the terror list.
Okay. Anyway.
We cut over, and there's a massive pile of all individually designed bodies in front of Apocalypse's citadel.
They look to be mostly mutants, right? I mean, there's some that look like they could be human, but there's a lot of odd-looking characters.
Yeah, there are lots of odd-looking characters, definitely mutations and stuff like that. And it's just a giant field. It's not even a mass grave because they're not even trying to bury people in it. It's just death all over the place, which the YouTube algorithm is going to really enjoy that sentence.
Yeah.
Going into the Citadel, Ozymandias goes in his little jet thing past a bunch of the prisoners who are reaching out. Don't feel bad for not knowing the name. It is not listed in the episode. I was
going to say, that's Rod. His name. I had Concrete Man walks up to Apocalypse.
Yep, Ozymandias. Yeah. And he's in his little coffin, and he's told, yep, we found a vessel for you, and Apocalypse summons who in the comics are referred to as the Final Horsemen.
Interesting.
Love playing the game of who are these people, but I know there is literally no way you are going to know those names, so it would not be fair to ask you.
No, I mean, you want to hear my descriptions here? Where did I go?
Yes, please.
So they unleash the 4 horsemen on Nathan, and where is did they not attack him till later?
They don't attack him till later. But
it was I think it was Bug Lady and a Confederate drummer. Oh yeah, yes. They get attacked by Bug Lady and Confederate drummer, and I know there's a couple other people, but I she was so it was kind of cool actually. I kind of like her character. Look more into her. The drummer boy threw me off because I was like, what an unremarkable.
So there are backstories for all 4 of these characters.
Yeah.
The only one that I actually looked through deeper. Pestilence, who is you referred to as Bug Lady, is Ichi Sumi. Apologies if I'm saying that name wrong. War, who's the big dude with the axe, who looks like what's his face from Infinity War. That is Decimus Furious, which is the most 90s ass name possible. You have Death, who is the guy on the carpet, which was Sanjar Javid. And then Famine is the drummer. Ironically enough, he is a Union drummer who is a Confederate spy. And his name is...
He's spying on the Confederate?
He was a Confederate in the comics who spied on the Union by disguising himself as a Union drummer.
Oh, was he in the Union outfit? That looked. I guess I don't know my history very well. That looked Confederate to me, so that's why I assumed.
I mean, That's a cool. But his name is Jeb Lee.
That's so
Jeb,
funny.
like Jeb Bush.
Yeah, no, I know. One of my high school best friends' name is Jeb. With the name, that's so funny that's a one of the 4. But what a great backstory for a villain. Especially one that's kind of an ultimate villain, right?
They're literally called the Final Horsemen because they're the ones that are there during Apocalypse's strongest moment. So
it's what's your superpower? It's I'm racist and can play the drums.
Yeah, very painful drums. So back at the camp, Jean is helping train Cable how to control the virus that is in his arm. And they're having a telepathic conversation around it, and they start basically giving him a pep talk of talking about how strong he is and he's been fighting his entire life. And right as Scott and Jean are about to reveal that they are the parents because they know they only have a day left with him, Morph interrupts by saying they found a baseball, and I just want to emphasize how significant is it that it is 2,000 years in the future right now, and a baseball made of leather survived that long?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I was mostly thinking, like, I love that this is Morph's only function in these episodes. Is the important conversations.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So Morph is like, we're going to go throw baseballs around, and Cable is probably like, what the fuck is a baseball? Cyclops mentions that he doesn't believe what Mother Askani has been preaching, where this this prophecy comes from, and maybe they should take him back, and that is how they're gonna train him to be the Cable he needs to be. And Jean agrees with it and is like, screw the timeline, screw fate, go talk to Askani and see if we could change her mind. I don't know if I think Jean would have done that. I don't know what happened since the teleport, but it feels like somebody who has possessed the Phoenix, like the natural order of things, like is something she would respect too. So,
although that comes up a couple times, like with Storm, I think later too, and I would kind of chalk it up to
literally the next conversation.
Oh, really?
Like the two scenes away. Yeah.
I think I chalk it up to, like, Jean already tried to trust, like, fate with her son, and it didn't work out so well, so she's just like, fuck it, and she's had a clone that, like, fucked her husband and stuff, but she's like, I've been through enough.
Not just fucked her husband, got knocked up by her husband. And remember, she didn't know if it was her during the wedding or if they had already switched at that point.
Yeah, because they have the same memories. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we still don't know as an audience when that actually happened. Yeah. So Scott goes into Mother Askani's room and doesn't actually answer his question. Did you notice that part where he's like, who gave you this prophecy? Like, where are the specifics of it? Blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, it has been said. Like, she never actually said who gave it in the first place.
So was that trying to imply that, like, she had the because, like, or maybe she's saying that it's like Scott and Jean, because wasn't it you that told me last season that Mother Askani is their daughter?
Rachel Summers from the alternate timeline. Yeah. Yes.
So I love that this is a whole family thing. Like, I don't trust this woman. It's like, oh, he doesn't trust his own daughter. Like, they're all like arguing. So maybe it's just something that she knows from her parents in a different place and time or something, and that's why she wouldn't say something to him.
So the Rachel that everybody knows from the comics is from the Days of Future Past timeline, which is Earth 811, and then. Let's look up Mother Askani and see if that's technically the same one.
I didn't know if this was on purpose or just similar, but I thought, like, Mother Askani's, like, face markings look very similar to, like, Trish Tilby's technovirus scars.
It's that one is a little more based on the hounds, which were the mutant hunting mutants in the Days of Future Past. We didn't see them in the cartoon version of Days of Future Past, but remember the final Apocalypse episode that had Caliban and Jubilee and Beast were riding through the temples in South America and stuff like that? They also had those similar face marks. So,
gotcha.
Yeah. Is Mother Askani the same one? Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I get so annoyed right now with the fact that Google has gotten 10 times worse since it started doing the AI like summaries of stuff. Like I have to scroll like 15 times to get a useful article. Yeah. According to the Google results, it's saying it's Mother Askani, but who knows at this point. So
it's a possibility, at least, right? It would also explain why she's being so cryptic about things. But so it's either that, or either that it's Scott or Jean that said it to me. What I'm thinking, or I think Mother Askani like explains her powers later, and she says she sees the threads of time. So maybe it's like less a prophecy, and she's just like had witnessed some evidence of it or something.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, so at that point, he does ask who she really is, and you don't get an actual answer on it.
Yeah, so that's probably Rachel, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, even the haircut is very much Rachel haircut.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm not even familiar with the look.
It's the same hair, except she doesn't have the giant braid.
Because even that just kind of gives Cable the look, you know?
And then she's like, nope, that's just what shit is. And then she goes back to being upside down.
That was pretty smooth. I like the power set because she's kind of in that like telepathic fire, which is foreshadowing for some other things to come.
Yep. Then you get a quick little interaction between Forge and Storm, which you alluded to, of the like, you know, the natural order of things. And he kind of gives the most awkward, like, are we dating or not conversation ever.
Mm-hmm. Which is fair because those two are kind of like Fitz and Simmons in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We're like, we're technically together, but we've had about 5 seconds together that wasn't fighting for our lives or separated by timelines.
It's like, cool, you cured me of the super poison. As soon as the super poison is out of my body, we turned on the TV and Genosha had been destroyed and you fucked off real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of like the conflict of, faith and science is how they phrase it. Because like really you always like to point out, like Storm is a goddess, so it's not the same as just like the pure science of being a mutant. And then Morph comes up and cock blocks everybody by saying that Nathan didn't understand that when you play catch, you have to throw the ball back to somebody, and went off with Scott and Jean instead.
That baseball and Morph, man. Like,
So Scott and Jean are leaving with Nathan, who at this point, I guess Cable just views them as his caretaker. Like he trusts them when they're like, come with me. He's like, all right, cool, let's go. And they're having a little bit of a telepathic conversation. He overhears it, lets them know that he has this capability, asks who Cable is, and then an ambush happens, and you get a fight number 2, with the Last Horseman reveal that happens there. So that's where you see some of those powers that you were alluding to.
Yeah, that's where my note for Bug Lady and Confederate Drummer. I mean, they were drawn well. Like, I'm trying to fathom, and I'm sure there's a big fan of, because there's fans for every character. I understand the Pestilence one, like that could be a Scourge, you know.
Yeah.
The drummer one, kind of, there has to be either has to be the most boring or most interesting lore behind, you know,
the drum beats cause cancer.
That sure. So
cancer and famine are apparently
okay. That makes it more confusing because, like, I was actually thinking about this with Apocalypse himself because, like, as a kid, I'm just like, oh, he's just a villain that's, you know, strong and grows and stuff. And as I got older, I was like, what is his power set? Because, like, especially after the show Heroes came out, I kind of viewed, like, the Marvel superheroes and stuff and the mutations and stuff being kind of like of an evolutionary thing. So it's like, oh, they could be able to control, like, elements and stuff. Like, that's like it's the same brand of powers, you know. Optic Blast is like a brand, or teleporting through like a hell thing, you know, to teleport through as a thing. Is like what evolutionary advantage? Like, if he never learned to play a snare drum, what would it happen? Like, would he just have this cancer power never known? And also, like, why a snare drum?
I was gonna say,
and why cancer?
Is it specific to the drum, or is it like anytime he makes a beat, like if he was clapping, would it have the same effect, or is it like when he hits the drum faster because you could be faster on a snare drum, then that's why he's able to shoot more cancer at people?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like, and then like, what does the percussion with like transmitting cancer have? That is like wild, you know, especially because like cancer specifically is like not like a communicable disease, you know. Like, so yeah, I don't know. I have so many questions, but that is an interesting character. I'll give him that credit. Like,
Rod, I think we found one of the clips for episode 1 is you exploring this character's power. Just saying. I'm assuming this is also like where one of those commercial breaks you alluded to happened, because it was like a hard cut and then you get to Wolverine finding like one of the robot skulls. So it feels like that would be a really good spot for a commercial to like give a second to breathe here for me.
Probably. I didn't mark them. Maybe I will in the 4th episode, but like that sounds about right. Because it was usually when they came back, it didn't seem like it was in the middle of a conversation or something.
Yeah. And then there is Mother Askani is like pretty shocked, like this wasn't supposed to be what is gonna happen. And Storm basically is like, no, you're the one who's like all into like the faith on this shit. So like maybe this is exactly what needs to happen to, like, again, bootstrap paradox. Again, sorry if I'm saying that wrong.
I also love the homage to the original animation, because this whole time where everyone's talking, Mother Askani doesn't move. It's a still image. Like she's staring off into, like, at first I was like, is she being possessed or disassociating? I think it was literally just like an homage to like the cost saving measures in the original 92 series, where she's just staring off, making eye line with no one. Yep. While Storm's behind her talking to her.
So they start alluding to the fact that the prophecy says that Cable is going to rise from the Citadel that gave Apocalypse his power. And then you find out through Logan that this is actually Ship, which we saw in X-Men the Animated Series, Season 3, Episode 9, Obsession, for those who want to go back and listen to that episode. That is where Beast fell in love with a Shi'ar sentient computer. So
I remember that episode. So I couldn't figure out if I just forgot or this was a big like revelation. I don't think I knew that Ship became computer, and they were both in the original series.
I don't remember if it got referenced in the show, because it's been 3.5 years since we watched that episode. But I did know that from comic specific stuff.
Oh, okay. So to me, that was like such a cool review, or a reveal. I mean, like, because it was like, oh shit, like this sentient Shi'ar technology like became the thing. Because I remember when we watched the original series, we were like, he just calls it computer, like. And then we saw the moment where he called a computer for the first time. Yeah. I also love the idea that she's been personified as a she. So like she just kind of hopping her way through the X-Men, like Beast and Cable. She's like in her own little like,
Well, I mean, in this one, we literally know it's Matthew's wife, so I think she is fairly safe. There are also versions in the comics, I believe, where computer has a not Siri, Cortana style form to her and such. I think I could also be confusing her with the computer from Spider-Man 2099. It's right. I read too much shit, Rod.
Yeah. This is why I can't read any of this stuff.
So, Mother Askani also drops that, they're taking him to this sealed citadel, and once it gets past the gates, it's kind of like the point of no return. Forge is like, oh yeah, well, they're traveling at Mach 3, so we need to get more power because I could make this ship fast enough and slingshot the team onto the ship, which I'm actually glad they didn't show like what that transportation looked like. Like they showed the ship moving later, obviously, but it wasn't like trying to animate in a cool way what slingshotting people faster than Mach 3 would look like.
Yeah.
Like it felt like that could have been like one of those hokey moments. And he's like, oh, do you have like an extra, like, I forgot what the exact phrasing was, but it was like, this big mega power source to do it. And she's like, I got it.
Or something.
Like a supernova.
Or something. Yep.
Yep. And she's like, yeah, sure, we have that. And then you also started alluding to this where Rachel knows more than what she's letting on. And you do get like the full reveal of her with the hair showing. And she's like, yeah, you were kind of this mega badass in all the times when I saw you. So referencing literally like 2,000 years prior. And you don't just have control over the weather, but the cosmos itself, which feeds into this, like, the fact that Storm is kind of one of the only ones that is acknowledged as Omega at this point. So
yeah, but we saw a little bit of that, right, in the original series when they were on the moon, right? Because I remember having questions about that because it was like elements and not necessarily Earth and all that stuff.
I don't know enough about the pure definition of weather to be able to say that is it, but like it's like on the moon, it's also a closed ecosystem from where the Inhuman Gardens were. So,
but I love, like, okay, so at this point, this happened twice. Jake, anybody else? Because I know sometimes you listen to these. This has to be a thing in every season premiere. We find out some badass fucking Omega level thing Storm can do. Because the last time it was like the the turning
glassing the desert.
The desert and stuff. And then now it's like she's fucking controlling the sun. You know how dangerous that is? It's such a good thing she's a good guy in this show. Like,
I mean, if you fuck with solar flares, like, you could put entire countries without power, like, type stuff. So. Yeah. Also, it's the future where there's a lot of fucking dead people, so there's not as much collateral damage, I feel like.
But when she gets back to the 90s, man, when she knows she can control the sun now.
We also get the reveal here that it was Mother Askani who brought them here, sent them to 2 timelines, one to, stop Apocalypse, and one to prevent him from ever rising to power. And she... Like, there, you do see the phoenix in her eyes on this, which, family bloodline and such.
Yeah, her mother's eyes.
And she saw that the X-Men were going to die, so rather than just let them die, use them and possibly save the future. So
I love that is the plot. I don't know if you remember the video game Eternal Champions for Sega Genesis.
Please dive deeper, because it's been a while since I played Eternal Champions.
That's the plot of Eternal Champions. That's why they're called Eternal
plot?
Champions. Well, it's because the final boss, the Eternal Champion, he pulls all these. I guess it's a little bit different in that these are all bad people, or I think they're bad. I can't remember they're bad now. Actually, they're all people that like they get pulled out of their timelines moments before they die, and the one who wins gets to continue their timeline. And so it's like
kind of like Spider-Man.
Yeah, right.
So the angry face train is barreling down the hyperloop or whatever you want to fucking call that. I love that he's so arrogant that even when he's in like his like 100-year coma to like get stronger, his angry face train still exists.
I'm going to put this as broadly as possible. You can interpret it as you want. I used to think that was ridiculous, but now I know that evil people like to put their faces on things everywhere.
Super accurate.
For no, no material reason besides vanity. That happens in the real world currently in 2026. Nope.
No friends of humanity in this episode, though. On the angry face train, Jean is kind of like coaching Cable how to utilize his powers to try to send the virus to break the Genosha collar. I have to also point this out. The Genosha collar apparently was the most perfect design ever because they have not tweaked that fucking thing in 2,000 years.
If it ain't broke. I mean, they do break a lot, though, so...
They break a lot.
Yeah.
But they don't even recolor it. It's just like, that is your Genosha collar.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. And then, Cable is still very much in doubt about his abilities. He's like, oh, you're going to tell me that I'm special and a miracle. And he compares miracles to a mistake. And that's the most profound thing that a teenage kid has ever said.
Right. A little trauma goes a long way.
Mm-hmm. They reveal, finally, that they are his parents. And that ends up giving him that encouragement to manifest his power strong enough that he's able to actually overcome the collar, breaks the collar off, and then, they get out and fight starts again.
Yeah, big old fight. That was a really cool way they revealed his parents, though. That's the psychic message that she left with him as a baby.
Yeah, that he's able to remember all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember last week, let alone when I was a newborn. So, it's amazing. But it was really sweet. You could tell, Jean and Scott had, rehearsed that. Like, we're gonna reveal someday. And this will have to be the way. And I like the way they animated. They gave each other, knowing nods. They're like, now's the time.
Yeah. It was that, level of understanding of, all right, this is your part. You know what you're supposed to say next.
And this is a nitpicky thing, and I'm not saying they should have done it this way, but I love the idea that they had to give each other knowing glances when they talk to each other psychically frequently.
Except they're...
they are hindered.
The bond from the collar. So, yep.
Gotcha. Okay, good point.
Watch, there's some theory that you thought of that I didn't that'll counteract that in 3 episodes. Forge mentions that everything is rigged and ready to go. Mother Askani makes the giant, like, it's like a sort of helicarrier, but not a helicarrier, pop up into the air. And then I wrote dramatic storm.
Yeah, I love the incantations. I know you sent me a thing where some guy on Threads was rage baiting people, saying like, "Why does she always have to do these things?"
Yeah, he's basically like, "Why is she so extra?" Oh, also, this guy is Rod's nemesis. Is my theory.
My theory is plain old rage baiting, because that's how you make money on Threads. But like, because it was so absent of understanding anything in the world, like X-Men, like he called her powers magic, and I know that's nitpicky, but like if you're watching the show, you know these kind of things. And she only ever does incantations or like Shakespearean monologues when she's using her powers. It's almost exclusively.
This one was one of my favorite replies. I'm very proud of myself for not just falling for rage bait and telling somebody to go fuck themselves, which mostly is Gen AI people that I will say that to. But I was like, with all due respect, if you have a problem with how Storm speaks in season 1, you should probably skip season 2.
Yeah. But the thing I love the most about this was the incantation, but that music, like Storm's theme. Yep. And like, I'm so happy. I've gotten to talk. I talked to Andy about like the Newton brothers about this. I was like, I know it's simple. I know it's not like reinventing the wheel, but like, man, what a fucking perfect theme. It's kind of like the Wonder Woman theme, where like it's the moment she's gonna do something crazy, like control the sun. Like that little piano line comes in. It's perfect. Like, it's the perfect mood.
And it's the opposite energy of that Wonder Woman thing, because this starts subtly and high pitched, whereas the Wonder Woman is those like big booming drums.
Yeah. And those are the I think Wonder Woman is a Tina Gao's electric cello, and then this is like a nice like fluttery piano by Taylor for the Newton brothers.
And then her quote there was, "We are the dawn that breaks his night," and that's the most. No other character can do that. There's something special about her and Allison's delivery that I truly don't believe other characters could pull that off.
Yeah, there's not a Jubilee line.
More fighting happens after they're launched at the high speed. The X-Men arrive. You do get the music cue for the theme song, and then. Was the Thor moment spoiled for you from trailer stuff, or did you make it through seeing that for the first time?
If I had seen it before, I forgot. But it did the first time I saw it, like at midnight-ish or whatever when it came out. A, I was tired, but B, like I had to like rewind. It was like, is that fucking Thor? Like, what is he doing there? And it's like, oh, it's Morph. All right, that makes sense. But I also love seeing that because like. We like because of that, you know, the decade or two that there was a separation of Fox X-Men and Marvel and stuff. Like to see that cross, you know, like they can acknowledge each other. It's like, oh, this is so cool! I can't wait. X-Men's coming soon.
Well, now we've gotten 3 of the Avengers, or actually 4 of the Avengers, because we've gotten Hulk, we've gotten Cap, we've gotten Thor, and Iron Man in this series. 2 of them being Morph, 2 of them being the actual people. Also, real quick note, Josh Keaton, who is the voice of Captain America, met him at NostalgiaCon. Great dude.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah. I was the first person to ever have him sign his Topps Finest X-Men card, actually. So
very cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yep. Then you keep seeing Wolverine in pain as he's like thrashing at this robot's head and just like ripping it out and being like hyper violent. And then the big end of the fight is Nathan takes one of the guns from a trashed robot and he does the pose from Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the Max move. And then I put Ozzy Sands away because he's fucked. So
yeah, at first it kind of gave me the Infinity War thing. I was like, oh, he's gonna get. They did a good job animating it to see like he didn't die, like he's slithering away.
Yeah, it was a little bit like Sinister vibes in the original animated series, where he's just kind of like chilling in the beach, you know.
Yeah.
And then without warning them, they're like, all right, cool, we can pull people out. And Mother Askani's like, nope. And she just uses the fucking train as a battering ram through that front gate.
Because she says, like, Nathan hasn't fulfilled his destiny yet, which is, like, I guess fair.
But also, you're a psychopath.
She's like, we came this far.
Ozymandias goes to Apocalypse. Apocalypse knows that it's the X-Men. They will do anything to protect one of their own, including defying time itself. I need to strike them when they are most vulnerable, which I disagree with this sentiment, the 1990s, because I would say when their origin is probably when they're the most vulnerable, but that's neither here nor there. And then he shoots himself off into the sky.
I love it. Anything to get the 90s reference.
And then outside they get out of the train. Cyclops is being like super dad mode now that he's revealed. He's like, "Are you good?" And Cable's like, "Shut up, I got this."
Yeah.
And then you see a bunch of generic mutant slaves who are kind of just like, "All right, can we leave now?" And Cable uses his telepathy, makes a path for them. Cyclops comments of like, you're summoned to leadership as opposed to like, fighting to get it, things like that. And then they go to inside the ship. They see, the computer starts talking with him and then is essentially like, I'll go with you, makes this little circle. You see his arm get put through it. And then you jump to the modern day where it is Cable with his big conspiracy board. And then the benefit of watching this on this computer is it's super, super easy to pause and like get stuff on it. So Cable's timeline for Apocalypse was 3000 BC, which was Egypt, and then skips right to 1993 and goes right to Stonehenge, which also Muir Island and such. Paris, a Friends of Humanity headquarters, which I don't remember, which is entirely possible that was a thing. 1994, which was New York City, and then I think Atlanta was the other one. 96, which was South America, which was that last episode with Fabian Cortez, and then 97 Genosha Ruins. I love that they took that much effort for something that is scrubbed over super, super fast in the shot.
They knew the new rock stars were going to freeze frame that shit.
100%.
Break it down.
And then you see the reveal that he is speaking to Psylocke and Archangel, and it says that, the next thing for them to do is recruitment, and has photos of Jubilee and Sunspot. And also, did you notice the other little tiny Easter egg that was in that folder?
Oh, I don't think I did.
The external who was there for the Gambit swamp episode, who is in episode 3 of the season.
So I think I caught that later because in next episode I made a note
also
about
shown
that.
Again. Yes.
But I didn't see it in this one. Got it.
It is on that when he's holding the folder and you see the photo of Sunspot and Jubilee. The external's like at the bottom of it, which all that to me, it's a character that lives cross time, but the connection to Gambit is so fucking strong.
Oh yeah.
None of us have any doubt that Gambit is coming back this season in some capacity, probably as the Horseman of Death. Like, let's just be real. That's what's going to happen. But I love the seeds they're planting to show that it's going to happen. So.
I didn't even think about that because I forgot that was the episode. I was like, what's this random character that was like a blip in the original series? But yeah, it was the Gambit episode. That's so fun.
It was the Gambit episode because that was the tithe. So
yeah. The weird little thing that I learned in this sequence was kind of random. I didn't know that Nathan's middle name was Dayspring, which I kind of saw. I was like thinking he's probably there like, God, computer, shh, like no one here knows because I don't know what it it means in this universe, but he's Nathan Dayspring because he was born and found in the spring. That's when Mother Askani's talking about the seasons with Scott Summers and stuff. So yeah, he's always been Dayspring.
So,
well, because, and I don't know if this ever reached like the Catholics, but for any recovering Christians here, you remember Dayspring was Hallmark's Christian arm of like greeting cards. So
nope, didn't know that.
Hallmark's so Dayspring was the greeting cards that were the Christian, not even version of Hallmark. It was an actual like Hallmark company that specialized in Christian greeting cards. So that when I think of Dayspring, that's what I think of. But anyway, that was like the most random like little thing. I was like, what a random name for him to have.
Okay. And I learned something.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is the end of this episode. It's so good to be back, man. Like,
yeah, fucking action-packed. I loved it. I had a great time. I couldn't wait to get into the next episode. So in one way, even though I complained about them dropping all three, I still loved it. It was cool. It was really cool.
I think they could have gotten away with two and still been just as good, but I also understand the idea of if you are essentially giving us three different teams, you got to give at least that tidbit of the episode 3 team in the premiere week, because otherwise it's like the fucking Rogue and Magneto fans, because they're the strongest of the fandoms from that other team, would lose their goddamn mind if you got the first week of the show with no Rogue and no Magneto in it. Honestly.
That was my theory. Yeah, it's like if you didn't have Rogue in the first like week, if you had to wait a month for Rogue to show up, that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, it's great. Everything from the technicalities to the stories and everything it's just so much fun. I don't know. So I know somebody on the internet is complaining about it, but like I had fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, there's one comment I saw on IMDb that's like, oh, another fucking Jubilee episode. It's like, shut up right fucking now. So I hope you're listening and know that I hate you. That's all. All right, well, we are going to end this recording and then go right into the next one. Episode 2 will be live tomorrow morning, and then 2 days from now, episode 3 will be live, as long as computers don't blow up and such.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys for joining us. If you have any thoughts, make sure to drop them into the comments for either the YouTube upload, the Spotify upload, or the official Instagram post about this episode. And if you like what you heard, we would genuinely appreciate a rating on the podcast app of your choosing. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, and YouTube Podcasts. We're back, baby.